Greetings, heathens and heretics, and welcome to Cats Within the Abyss, apparently. If you could hear the conversation that was going on before. Yeah, I am joined by Drian and Lewis from Nxmad.
Nomad.
Right, isn't it? So we'll get to the name thing in
Yeah,
a little bit, but that is right, isn't it? It's still Nxmad.
it is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. How are you, gentlemen? You all good?
yeah. Good.
Not
Thanks.
too bad.
Is
Thanks
it
for having us.
is it equally as hot in the north as it is in the south?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's been absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know when you're in trouble when it's even hot in the north of England, and then we're all fucked.
yeah.
But, yeah, but British people will complain if it's hot, cold, wet, dry, whatever it is. But we're not here to talk about the weather or cats. We are here to talk about you guys. So I guess the best place to start really is a bit of a story about Nxmad and who you are and sort of like a bit of the history because you've almost been two bands in a way. So not personnel wise, but certainly musically. So I kind of just sort of give us a gist of who you are,
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I
if you
suppose
can
like
remember that far back.
yeah. So we sort of formed in 2012 when it joined.
I
Yeah,
think
around
so,
about.
yeah, around there.
So yeah, me and Drian were sort of introduced together for like a mutual friend at the time, and we decided to get a band together, audition a few people, and then settled on the lineup that was the lineup for a few years, which was John Carberry on bass and Haley on drums. Then so we released The House is Dead that was our first EP in 2014.
Yep.
Right?
I have
Yeah.
no idea. Oh, you've
Yeah,
got facts.
2014.
I've got notes. I've got
We've
notes.
got facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
Then we did the split EP we bought in our friends bought in 2015, and then we did our first album, which was released on APF.
Yeah.
That was released in 2018, and then 2019, Haley decided she wanted to leave, so that was fair enough, you know. And then so there's just like me, Drian and John, sort of like trying to write stuff, and then COVID happened.
Yeah, of course.
So that kind of put the kibosh on a bit for a while. And then we were kind of sort of looking, well, we needed a drummer. And it was at
We
that
went
time
about a
when,
year
yeah, about a
practicing
year.
without a
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah, about a year
Just
practicing
hoping
without a
one to
drummer.
turn up out of nowhere.
And like we had ones that we kind of like thought, oh, they'd be a good fit that we knew, but they were already spoken for.
Yeah.
And then during like the first lockdown, you know, that sort of period where people were doing sort of like videos of them playing guitar or drums at home and that kind of thing. And Liam, who is our drummer now, he's in a band called After the Abduction, which are an insanely good death metal band. They're amazing, and like they happen to share the rehearsal room that we had at the time and still do. And so we kind of knew them, and Liam kept posting videos of him sort of like doing sort of drum covers to all different sort of styles and genres. So I was watching this thinking, hey, he's you know, he's not just like a death metal drummer. He's like, and he's really good death metal drummer. But he's got no a good range, you know. So I mentioned it to John and Drian and said like, should we just like see if Liam wants to have a crack? His gear's in the room that we rehearse in. Do you know what I mean? It could work out, you know. So I sent him a message and he was, yeah, let's have a go. So that's kind of it. He learned 3 of our songs. First time came in, we just sort of all looked and said, yeah, this is the right fit, and we just and took off from there. So that's when sort of Nxmad Part 2 sort of like started really.
We could have saved a lot of time if we just asked him in the first place. So he was in the room.
Oh no, yeah, yeah.
Spent about a year coming in going, we really need to get a drummer. This does not work without a drummer.
No, it didn't work.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but so we got a like, and he's brilliant. He's the addition of Liam is like we've had to become, because he's so good, like a more sort of like focused kind of controlled sort of like sound, which is you could probably tell from like the previous album to this one. it does sound like a different band, if you know what I mean. And that's not that wasn't in a contrived way. We didn't really mean to sort of say, right, okay, let's sound like this. It's just kind of naturally sort of like evolved like that because of the addition of Liam. To be fair, I think that's fair enough, isn't it, Drian? Would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that in itself, I think is healthy. If you bring someone new into a band and instantly there's a natural, shift in the dynamic, and that that gives you a bit more impetus, doesn't it, to kind of it's a new injection of life, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's a very intuitive drummer as well. Like, it's sort of case where you give him a riff, you give him a song, and he'll just go and it'll be right first time, like exactly what you needed for it.
Does he know his left from his right?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's a bit of a disaster in every other part of his life, but the drumming he's got down.
He's got it down, yeah. So like the first, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just saying, like the first song on the new album, Men's Wear, that's the we kind of from start to finish musically without the drums. That was the first. That's the only one on the album really that we kind of wrote without Liam, because we sort of like playing with that song without a drummer for like a year. We kind of had that down, and then so when he came and said, "Look, we've got this. The only one we've got that's like not any of the old stuff sort of thing." So he just like put his own flavor in it, and then after that, like he's been part of like all the rest of the songs, but that was the first one really that he sort of like wrote his drum parts for.
There is a sort of a stark difference between your really early stuff. So that House is Dead EP and the new album, The Second Fall. It's like you do sound like two separate bands, because like your vocals on that EP are fucking mental. It like proper haunted me. It was like, what the fuck is this compared to what you're doing now? So it's you've really kind of evolved as a band. And even your first full length album, like the sound from the EP to that album to where you are now, you have sort of done a real shift, and it's quite strange to listen to the same band to be so different across the course of what 12 years.
It does feel like two different bands, really. Like,
yeah, it does.
It's cool. So Andy sent us the album just before it came out, The Second Fall, and it was the opening riff that got me. It's like, fuck this. I'm a massive COC fan, and it just harks me back to sort of 90s COC straight away. It's like this fucking hits hard. So I go back and listen to the rest of your catalog and thinking, am I listening to the right band? It just doesn't sound like the same thing. So, but I love The Second Fall. I think it's a great album. It's like it's that mix of like there's like a hardcore pound into it, mixing with those doomy riffs. And like I said, that sort of COC comparison is definitely there, and it's got bite, it's aggressive, it's fucking. You should be really fucking proud of it. It's fucking great.
We've almost done the reverse of COC in a way, because
I suppose you have,
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Let's talk about APF quickly for a sec, because we love what Andy does with APF and the work he puts into the scene, and if it's APF Records, it's a sign of quality for us. So how did that relationship come about when you first got with him?
I think we were one of the first bands that sort of signed with him. I think it was Was it Bon Cauldron first, or was it Under?
It was Under.
Under was one of the first things. Yeah,
Under was definitely the first release. Was Under. I know that. But we knew Andy from being like he used to come to gigs, and sort of like way before the label started. Like we knew him. He was a friend of the band. He was one of the people that you'd regularly see. Well, no matter where you did a gig, it could be like in Manchester one weekend, and then like down in, I don't know, Stoke like the next week, and like he'd be there. Do you know what I mean? He was just like really familiar.
I never on Sambuca for a very long period of time when we first met him.
yeah. And so he was a good friend of the band. So when he said he was going to like start a label up and stuff, he was like Drian said, we were like one of the first sort of ones he sort of considered, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've been friends with Andy for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's just like a mark of quality when you see APF or something. You know, some of my favorite albums in recent years have come through Andy's label. Like Swamp Coffin's last one was my album of the year that year. I just absolutely adored that. Just completely, you know, sort of crushed me. So, you know, where you are now still fits with what Andy does with APF as well. So, you know, that relationship seems to be, you know, growing over time, and you know, I think with the way you guys sound now, it feels like you've got, you know, a more accessible sound to a lot more people. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so.
Yeah.
You know, and in terms of like getting out there and sort of doing festivals and things like that, I mean, you know, the opportunities are out there. So what are you sort of planning to do, you know, off the back of this album now? You're going to tour it, you know, push the festivals and, you know, obviously the likes of Bloodstock and things like that. Would you like to do a bit of that?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the worst part, it's sort of the worst thing that we sort of do in the band is admin. That's that's the part we absolutely hate. So we're trying to book some more gigs in for this year. I think we've got about one a month until the end of the year now.
Yeah. Like with since release of the album, like there's a bit more traction, like sort of getting gig bookings and stuff. You know, I think that always helps. You know, what I mean, when you got that sort of behind you, to sort of, you know. But but like next year, like definitely like on the festival sort of like season, that'd be great. You know, just any that we can, you know, we can do really.
I think it's a necessary evil now, isn't it? The festival circuit. You know, me sitting here has, you know, recently started a small festival, and you know, I'm kind of part of the problem. But it's such a great way, I think, of getting music to people who might not necessarily have heard of you. I mean, Bloodstock is the prime example of that. You know, what they do with Metal to the Masses and the smaller stages and whatnot. It does give so many bands that opportunity to get out there. So, you know, but at the same time, it's fucking hard to penetrate, isn't it?
No, definitely. Although there does seem to be a lot more like smaller ones sort of cropping up, I've noticed. It seemed like for a while a lot of the smaller ones were going to be sort of priced out because the logistics. I tried to run a festival about 10 odd years ago and it was a fucking nightmare. But it does seem like there's people still doing a lot more grassroots ones, which is cool.
Well, I think with the cost of like download and even Bloodstock's, you know, north of 250 quid now. You know, it is a lot of money, and you know, the smaller independent festivals we've got something to offer.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's always going to be. I prefer the smaller ones. To be fair,
you and me both.
No, I'm the same.
Like they used to be one. What was it called? Do you have that one? Right? In Cardiff, Red Sun. That was a great
Red Sun was really good.
That was a brilliant festival. That was.
First year of Red Sun, it was basically all the bands from Manchester ended up playing in Wales.
Yeah. It was like Manchester bands, Bon Cauldron, and like the Cardiff bands, and it was brilliant. But that was a really good festival. That, but yeah,
I've never heard of that one.
It was a while ago now.
But it'd be a good 10 years or so ago.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe a bit more. Yeah. It was really good. It was on that. It's like a street in Cardiff. It's like, what's that street called? I forgot what it was called. But it's just like there was fuel metal bar, and then
Full Moon, is it? Full Moon was next to it.
I know. I know where Fuel is. I've been there, and Eye for Back, and that is all down that.
Yeah, it was all them venues.
Strip. Yeah, it was wicked. It was great. It was really good. It was, but
I think for sort of bands at your level, those independent festivals are always going to be, you know, super important. But what's the scene like in Manchester or your general sort of area at the minute? Because like from us down south, we look at that and think that you must have the same kind of thing that goes on in London. That it is just a saturation of gigs. I know venues are struggling, but there's always something on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I've actually I used to go to a gig like nearly every week, and I've started to sort of pull back a bit and not go to as much. And I tend to go to like a lot of stuff that's different from the stuff that we make as well. So
yeah. I think, you know, with local scenes, it's it's all about the people that are making it. You know, so where I live in Essex and Chelmsford, we've started putting on these. Sure, we started in 2023. We're now built up to a small festival, and we're starting to see people coming from further and further afield. But to get people out of the house, it's like, come on, just come on.
Yeah.
No, just please, just, you know, it's 10 quid and a couple of pints, and you know, you're having a great night rather than spending 200 quid to go and see some stadium band that you're sort of like, you know, you know, a bit of that. So that's what we're trying to sell, like the, you know, how important and how good the grassroots can be.
Yeah, and there's I mean, like you say, like there's plenty of bands out there, like you say, like whether it's saturated or not, I don't know. It's like, I know when I don't know if you sort of noticed this, but like, you know, when like coming out the other side of COVID, like some bands didn't sort of survive it, if you know what I mean, for want of a better phrase. A lot of venues like also did, a lot of promoters. So like it was almost like it was like sort of like a bit of a reset. So like you're having to sort of, where you would sort of like have, you know, you could get a gig at a venue before, you know, it wasn't the case anymore, or like you did, or it had a different promoter. So it was like sort of, that was almost like starting again, if you know what I mean.
It did feel like that. It did feel like that. It was, I mean, it was a bit of a release. My first gig back, I think, was I went to a little Malevolence show in Cardiff, funnily enough, and I got COVID, which was great. I got through the whole COVID period without getting one gig afterwards, and got COVID. So yeah, thanks for that. Typical. But it felt like we're all kind of being released back into the wild almost. You know? And it only feels like in recent years that it's sort of started to settle down again now, and you know, and sort of get back to a little bit of normality, which, you know, the way it is at the minute is great. There's so much out there, you know, but for you guys in bands, like every Friday when albums are coming out and you're releasing yours and you're going up against 70 or 80 other albums, it must be so hard to get yourself noticed.
It is. Yeah, I think it's like we had a like when we released Stars, it was just over a month ago now, wasn't it? And
yeah, month or two, I think. I don't know.
And then like it's sort of, you kind of for a week or two, you kind of like, people are sort of like, you know, messaging, or the reviews are coming out, and then after that, it's, you know, that there's more and more get released, you know, after it, and then you kind of sort of, okay, well, we need to sort of keep the promo train sort of going, you know, which, you know, it's
kind of a job in itself, really.
It is, like you say,
and I'm guilty of it as well, because I tend to listen to a whole bunch of new albums every Friday.
Yeah,
and it's rare that that'll stick with me for more than a couple of weeks.
But I think the way we are now as consumers of anything, really, not just music, but the first 30 seconds are so important. And that opening riff on Men's Rear was like, I was like, yeah, that's got me. So you did exactly the right thing. It was the right opening riff, the right opening song, and that's what you need now, because people just go, no, don't like it, and I'm moving on. No,
like,
so yeah.
No,
maybe listen to the whole album straight away.
That's good then, because because like it's I don't, like, people who like, they probably won't realize that when you come to like record an album of it, like the actual, you know, where each song sits and stuff, that can take as long to decide as like writing a full song. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be right, you know. So it sounds like we made the right choice for the opener, so that's good.
Fucking right. It is an absolute killer riff, you know, and it's always riffs that get me. It's like they just sort of make you sort of stop and think, and you know, you pull the sort of stupid face, and you know, and all of that. So the name change as well. So talk to me a little bit about that. So you're still known as Nxmad, but you've dropped the O for an X. So what's the story behind that?
So basically, I always hated the name. That was one of them. I always hated the name, and unfortunately, there was about 16 other bands called Nxmad.
Yeah.
And about half of them were definitely bigger and better than us. So that was difficult. So it just made it easier for people to find us.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then mispronounce our name, which has now become the new challenge, where people are calling us Nxmad and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, we had that conversation.
And it makes it sort of like kind of touch on what you're saying before about there's so many things released and stuff. It's like with the previous album, which like I'm still proud of that album. It's a good sounding album, but like no one heard it because like if you search for Nxmad on Spotify or whatever, we just don't come up because it's just there's that many. I
think there was the other one of them was like a house band, I think, from Manchester or something as well, which didn't help.
There is a house band called Nxmad. Yeah, I did exactly the same thing. That was the first thing that came up on Apple Music. So but then obviously when I search it as Nxmad, then obviously you guys come straight up. So
that's it.
We were once playing a gig in with a punk band in Manchester, and the next day they thought we were playing with them, and it was a different band called Nxmad, another punk band. So
fucking hell.
We were like,
they were so disappointed.
Yeah.
But you say that, I think with how you sound now, you know, there's been nothing stopping you playing with doom bands, playing with hardcore bands, playing with punk bands. You've got that kind of that crossover now, and that should, I'm assuming, will hopefully open up, you know, new doors for you.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it's going to give us a bit more scope, like I say, to play with sort of what brings out the box. We've sort of been that sort of, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, it just gives more opportunity to play with sort of different sort of, rather than the sort of like doom sludgy stuff that we kind of, which is all good, but like I don't know, I think like if we could like sort of stick to doing sort of like doomy sort of like gigs, if when we come on and do what like the new stuff, it's going to be like what the hell's do you know what I mean? Might not go down
if there's a riff then,
yeah, that's true.
You know, you know, that's
we'll just get Liam to play slower.
That's what we're doing it. But,
give him a rest.
If you had the opportunity though, who would you want to tour with? What would be the kind of, you know, the grail of a band to go out on tour with?
Mine, it's probably a little bit different from there's an influence there. Mine would probably be Obituary.
Nice.
I think that's
I'm not. Yeah, I'd struggle to sort of argue against that. To be fair, Obituary.
You'd want to resurrect Bolt Thrower.
Yeah. If now that, well, that's a different level. Like if they were to resurrect, then that would be for me. That would be the pinnacle of that. But yeah, like Crowbar. I mean, we've supported Crowbar before, and that was
nice.
That was cool. Yeah, who else? Yob. Like we've always loved Yob.
Oh, fucking hell.
I think Yob are the band that sort of we all sort of loved. I think we've all got quite diverse music tastes, but like Obituary and Yob and Motorhead are probably the three that we all sort of agree on.
I can hear that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So there was so Yob played the Star and Garter in 2011. Do you remember that, Drian?
I think that's where we first met.
Yeah, so that's where I first met Drian, because he was wearing a Bolt Thrower t-shirt. I was like, oh, that's a sound t-shirt. You know? And then after we got the band together, like we all realised that we were all at that gig before we all met each other. It was kind of like so. It's kind of Yob was like the sort of, you know, the common ground for all of us really. But that's just one of those like unique bands. Like, you know, if that opportunity ever came knocking, you know what I mean? That'd be pretty.
Are they? I've not heard. Are they still doing stuff? Because it's been a while, hasn't it, since the last album, or like since I've seen them play.
Still post stuff and that, but I don't know if they've got anything in the pipeline. I don't know. It must take ages to write this.
Well, yeah, this is it, isn't it? It's just hang out a note, go and make a cup of tea and a cottage pie. You know, come back and catch up. I remember the first time I heard Yob. We're going back probably about 20 years, and I was we used to have a webzine back then, and I reviewed whatever album. We're talking around about 2004, 2005. I can't remember what the album was called. And I wasn't really into anything like that at the time. And I put this album on that had been sent to us, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was just this droning huge noise. Made no sense to me whatsoever. Couldn't review it. Couldn't understand it. Like, it's just, Ahab were another one, similar kind of thing. Just, that kind of just blew my mind at that age, I think. But and going back to the Bolt Thrower thing, why am I the only person who's not a fan of Bolt Thrower? Like, I'm probably going to get shot.
Oh, Lewis is going to quit the meeting now. He's off. You're really upset.
I wish you talked about this instead of cats before the meeting. So like this, The answer to the question is I don't know.
It's a good riff.
Yeah, man.
It's never clicked.
Fair. Oh, well, that's fair. That's fair, man. It's all subjective, isn't it? That's.
He's saying that through his teeth.
Cunt. Fucking wasted my evening for this. Enough bolt throw at all, because I will probably upset people. What's your fucking problem?
Yeah.
So just going back to like your upcoming plans, and you said you got a couple of shows, but so give people some dates and that, and where you're playing, and where they can come and see who you're playing with, all that kind of thing, because that's what we need to do.
Yeah, so playing on the Saturday the 12th of September, playing the APF all day at Rebellion in Manchester. That'll be a good day. That'll be
it'll be like Desert Storm or on that thing.
Yeah,
the Brothers Key. I don't never know how to say. Is it the Brothers Key or the Brothers Keg?
Brothers Keg on that. Yeah, they
Keg.
don't play live very often either. So that's a cool one. Great band.
Lewis is checking when we're playing.
Check the lineup now.
Yeah.
We were at Mike's wedding as well. If you know Mike, and you want to see him get married.
Yeah. There you go.
Playing his wedding.
You're playing a wedding.
Yeah, this will be a first as well. It was a band. Moa, the drummer from Moa, quite an old band now, and he's getting married in a couple of weeks. So we're playing that.
So you're going to do like a load of Duran covers and things like that.
Yeah.
We've got one cover that we've been asked to do that we are currently struggling to learn.
Yeah, we can't. You can't say too much either. It's all a bit of a secret as well.
So, bit of a hush hush, and it also might not happen.
Well, if you can't play it, it's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just
say
karaoke.
It's our interpretation of it. That's exactly how we wanted it to sound.
We've got one in Liverpool.
We've got Saturday the 17th of October. We've got the Black Art down in Camden.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
That's not announced yet. So.
Has it not?
No.
It is now. This won't go out for a couple of weeks. So you probably.
Oh, so that'll be fine.
Hot off the press.
Who's that with?
We don't know. We're keeping it a secret from ourselves. I think that's a matinee show.
Okay. Yeah, they've done a couple of those lately. I think at my age, I quite like that. I'm all for that.
I'm happy with that as well. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
More
and then we got
7 o'clock.
We got one in November in Liverpool with Bilecaster.
Nice, great band.
And Cattle Hammer. That's on the 29th of November.
Yeah.
So that's what it means. All these different types of bands you're playing with, you know, the sort of, you know, the world's open to you at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's have to start emailing promoters.
Fucking promoters.
Yeah.
It's when promoters email you and offer you a show that's when it becomes complicated.
It's the difficult thing is because there's been a few dates where we'll get an offer or something like that, and then trying to get the four of us to all be available on the same day, it's
like herding kittens.
You know what I mean? It just happens. And it's the same for every band, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it is. Like real life gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but what can you do? You know. What can you do?
I'm sure as much as you want to be weekend warriors and out on it every single Saturday, it's just not that realistic, is it?
No, I mean that used to be the case, but it's just
yeah. And that is Liam at the moment, which is why it's hard for us to get gigs.
Yeah.
All you need is one member to have a baby or, you know, move house or anything like that, and that just fucks you for months, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's just what's happened.
Well, what date was it you said you were in London? Well, no, sorry, you haven't announced that yet, have you? So I won't dwell on that.
Yeah.
Tell me after. I'll get it in the diary. Yeah. So the album's out now, the second full. Where can people buy it? Because it is on vinyl and that as well. There are physical copies, so let people know where they can go and get their hands on it.
So it's on limited edition yellow and black marble on vinyl. Digipack and obviously down. So you can go direct to the APF website, to get it there, or our Bandcamp. Is that right, Drian? You get it from our Bandcamp, can't you?
Yeah, it's linked to APF's web store.
Yeah. You can stream it on all the streaming platforms like Spotify, YouTube, and all that. Deezer, all that. So it's out there. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's out there. But yeah, and it seems to be being received quite well.
Good.
The reviews have been good. You know, so we can't complain with any of the reviews and stuff. So like I mean, we're pretty proud of it. To be fair, you know, I think that's fair enough to say. Like I think we were kind of like when we were recording it, we kind of felt like we had something that we wanted.
Yeah.
Excited for people to listen to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I remember when we were recording it, like the first sort of like playbacks and stuff, like before it's even been mixed and stuff, we were going, yeah, man, that's like, you know what I mean? You know, it's, you know, it's, you know, yeah. But yeah, so we're chuffed with it, and we just want people to have a listen to it, and if they like it, great, you know, and yeah.
Yeah, look, take it from me. It is a fucking great album. It's just riff central. So yeah, I fucking love it. And look, a shout out to APF as well, because like vinyl wise, price is always really reasonable as well.
Yeah.
Everything that Andy releases is always closer to 20 quid than it is 30 quid. So
Yeah.
you know, in this day and age, I think that's an important thing to mention. So yeah, just go and get involved and yeah, enjoy it. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
And it's yeah, a conversation about cats that I'm never going to forget, I don't think. So yeah,
shame it wasn't recording.
Yeah.
See, you say that. So yeah, look, go and check out Nxmad via APF, via their own Bandcamp. Look, everyone knows where to find your stuff, so go and listen to it. It's a fucking great album, and yeah, enjoy it. We'll be back in a few days, probably. I don't know what with. Until then, stay metal. Take it easy. Cheers.
Cheers.